ready to fit. Got some good old dunk. Okay.
Alright guys, this is the last episode of the week, but as you can tell, it's going to be a good one. We're on Malganis today in our Storm League games. I am going to make sure that the sound is down to about 44. Perfect, that makes sense. Should be good. I've been having a little bit of trouble with the recording software today, so we'll see if it works the way that I want it to. But the team comps today: Tyrael, Malganis, Kael'thas, Auriel, Hanzo versus Maiev, Malthael, Orphea, Johanna, and Lily. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you Malganis is not an easy character to play. He is a main tank at the end of the day, and his purpose is a little bit more nuanced than every other main tank, because most other main tanks have a pretty easy function to determine. But Malganis has to do a whole lot of shit, and he has to be aware of a whole lot of things to really do his best. So, honestly, just to kind of break down his whole kit for you, his Q is called Fell Claws. It is a it's a three-stage ability. Your first one is going to move you and do a little bit of damage. Your second press is going to move you again, do a little bit more damage, and your third one is going to move you a third time and knock up your target in a very large area. So it's a small stun, but it's totally worth it, and that is going to be your most consistent form of CC. Now, one of the things to know about this ability when you're playing Malganis, you don't have to whip all three of them out immediately. We're gonna get out. Got the tether to wear away as we were getting our sleep on. But you're going to want to use your Q sparingly. You want to know what you're engaging on. You want to know how you're moving on the battlefield. You want to know how to get there, because your Q is also mobility on top of really, really reliable CC. So keep that in the back of your head. You don't always have to hit QQQ. You can hit Q. You can walk around for a little bit. You can hit Q again. And then you can hit Q a third time after doing a little bit more walking around, if you want to. You can even put some auto attacks in between there. Isn't that neat? It's pretty cool. So moving on, our next ability, W, is the Necrotic Embrace. What that does is it gives us a whole bunch of armor. Looks like 25 base, I think, from the ability, and it does damage in a circle. So that is going to keep us up for 3 seconds. 25 armor, and deal damage in an area. It's pretty much your oh shit button as soon as you realize that you're in danger, which it's pretty easy to get into with Malganis, I'll be honest with you. So, that being said, it's fairly straightforward. Moving on to our E, Night Rush, we're going to hit the button sometimes when there are enemy people around, and we're going to channel for a little bit, 0.75 seconds. And then we're going to stand up and fly. We're going to move a little bit quicker, and anybody that comes in contact with our hitbox is going to take a nap. Big not kill on Malthael there. Looks like that happened. So, when they're asleep, they can be woken up by any sort of damage. That includes minions, heroes, bosses, camps, Shrine Guardians, whatever the case may be. If they take damage, and it's not a very specific kind of damage built into Malganis' kit, they are going to wake up, and it's going to be like they were never stunned at all. What we were doing there is just holding down the bush to catch some vision, make sure we knew where the enemy team was. I got pulled out of my sleep by the Johanna. That is not my favorite, but we're going to save ourselves with our W. The next part of Malganis' kit is obviously his trait. This is probably the most important part. He heals for all of the damage that he does. He heals for 10% on minion and non-heroic targets, but he heals for 45% to heroic targets. So that is a lot of what makes Malganis so tanky, and his health bar isn't too shabby. I mean, let's be honest, is pretty fucking huge. Demon vampire guy, with his big old jawline, putting 2 people to sleep, hoping my team can kill one of them at least. Kael'thas is going to die because he walked forward instead of just taking the easy kill on the Orphea. Great. And there goes our main shrine clear. All that being said, this entire kit is full of CC, it is full of self-healing, it is full of disruption. And that is what Malganis does better than, I would say, 99% of the tank population. Even though it's a very small tank population, Malganis is really good at getting all up in the grill of the enemy team and not giving a single solitary fuck unless they just blow all of their buttons on him immediately. And without some really reliable CC, it's really tough to take Malganis down. If we were getting heals from our Ariel right now, we would be a lot easier to go in frontline for our team. The fact that we have a Tyrael and a whole bunch of people with relatively low mana bars is kinda like, I don't know why we went back in. We should have just let it go and healed, but whatever. Team wants to do what team wants to do. We're gonna make our way back as soon as our death timer is over. Try and get this Punisher to stop punching buildings for a second and focus on more important things like my feelings. You know, it's like he doesn't even care. We're gonna get hit. We're gonna hit our W button and walk up, so we take less damage from the Punisher as he jumps on us. Remember, every 15 seconds the Punisher will jump on the first target that it can see that is a hero. So use that information. Keep it in your head. You know you need it. Everybody needs it. Just remember it. Our talents, I'll go over those with you now because we're moving right along. Level 1, we took Wing Guard. This is a huge block charge ability. Every 6 seconds we get 1 charge, but we get a whole bunch more by hitting people with our W. So when we go and run into the enemy team and hit our panic button to stay alive, we're going to get a whole bunch of block charges on top of that to stop a lot of damage. Excuse me. Stop a lot of damage from the Orphea, the Malthael, the Maiev, and oh god, I'm sorry. I'm just fucking dying. It's fine. Ugh. Oh, I missed her completely. Let's try and put her to sleep so we can get on the team action here. Orphea is going to rip her ult on the camp. Looks like we're still gonna get it though, and it's going to help us kill the Johanna and the Maiev. Big stun on the Lily, catching her with the claws, and the tornado making sure she goes down. Winning that team fight, level 9 into 10. Way to go, team. Anyway, level 4, we're going to pick up the Might of Sargeras. This ability in and of itself is, this talent is a little bit more difficult than your normal pick, which is Fueled by Torment. This is definitely easier, but this is more, it's more over time kind of healing. So when your W is active, you're going to get heals back, and you're going to get more healing from your trait. But if you take Might of Sargeras, which we've done, you reduce the amount of armor that you get from your W duration-wise, but you get more armor. You get double the armor. So you get 50 armor for 2.5 seconds instead of 25 armor for 3 seconds. So you lose literally half a second, but double the armor. I think it's pretty worth it, you know? Seems good. Especially for cutting all damage in half. Unless it's percentage damage, you know? Then, at level 7, we're going to take Spreading Plague. This is going to enable some additional damage from our sleeps, even though it doesn't actually do any damage without this talent. So what's going to happen is when they wake up, they're going to take damage over time for 5 seconds. Hitting them with your auto attacks is going to increase the duration. But the other thing that plays into is Malganis' trait. So while he is doing damage over time from his sleep, he's also healing for some of that damage. Big sleeps on the healer and the Malthael on the backline. Enemy team trying to go in, doing dumb stuff. Tyrael eating a lot of that Orphea ult, but she is going to take Pyroblast to the face for her troubles. We're still in the backline, making sure Malth and Johanna don't have a fun time either. Pop our ult, see if we can get some damage and some heals. We did pick up the Carrion Swarm, which is the easier ult to use for Malganis. What it does is turns us into a big cloud of ats. We're going to do a bunch of damage, and we're going to heal for the damage that we do. Thank you, team, for following up on that sleep, not waking him up until you had the cooldowns for it. Way to go. Hopefully, I guess Tyrael's going to do it, which is fine. I'd rather have my DPS here with the Punisher to get this stuff down anyway. When the Punisher goes in, I want to follow up with him so we can get some kills, get some buildings, do some stuff. Ooh, big whip on the Johanna. There is the Jugs from Lily. I'm trying to hit both of them at once to kill Johanna and stop Lily from channeling her Jugs, but it didn't work. We got the Maiev consolation kill, though, and it looks like Malthael thinks he's going to keep going in. Looks like my team doesn't want to have anything to do with that, so that is okay. Some point we hit level 13. Our level 13 Blood Rush is going to increase our movement speed by 1% every time we heal by a hero. So this is Ariel healing us, or this is ourselves healing us with our trait, which is super fantastic, and the movement speed lasts 8 seconds. So 8 seconds of 15% increased movement speed in a team fight is nothing to scoff at. Get in there! Gotta stop them! 4 people running around in circles trying to do something. We've been put in prison, so now we gotta wait, and we're ready to go. Looks like the fight has moved on to the right. Chasing down the Tyrael. Can he get anything done? It doesn't look like it. We don't have minions to push up, so we're gonna let it go. I was saying something before this about that talent. Oh yeah, 15% basically permanent move speed in a team fight is absolutely nuts, because the amount of healing that you're doing from the talent with your E, your autos, your W, your Q, your ultimate, like everything on top of the healer healing you is going to stack that thing up immediately, and it's never going to go away until the fight stops. So you're always going to be moving quick. You're always going to be in prime position to do really disruptive, annoying tank things, and that's why you want that talent. Also, you could, if you're in a more coordinated setting, take the deep sleep just for extended duration on your sleep. But if you're in a situation where, oh, big flame strike, big gravity lapse, gonna miss the arrow completely. Got the backup one though. Let's knock him dead. We've got Maiev and Joe looking at us in the back line. Maiev taking off. Looks like we're gonna take the Malthael down. Joe coming in with full health. Doesn't have any idea what's going on. Are we going to get the Orphea? Yes, looks like she's going to miss all of her abilities on the Kael'thas, so he is going to get away with his life as well. And that kind of exemplifies what you want to be doing with Malganis. So Joe and Maiev were so tied up dealing with us that our team was able to just run away with it, killing the Orphea, the Malthael, and the Lily. Because they didn't have a main tank to save them, and they didn't have a Maiev to do any more damage to him. So, for him. You know what I meant. Anyway, we hit our 16. We took the consistent talent, Plague Bats. Plague Bats just makes our W do damage in a cone in front of us. Stopped that Jugs just like that. Couldn't even get the channel off. We're going to save Kael'thas a cooldown as well. He's going to go on a 9-second instead of a full Pyroblast cooldown because we killed the Lily before he could finish the channel. Anyway, what was I saying about the talent? Oh yeah, Plague Bats is far and away the most consistent. It is going to deal the easiest damage in the biggest area, and it's going to allow you to heal that much more in that big AoE. So just like that, it's a really good talent. It is, like I said, the most consistent of the three. The other two aren't bad, but they're a bit more situational. Frenzied Assaults increases your attack speed when your health is lower than the enemies that you're auto-attacking. And then Blind as a Bat turns off all your vision, but your Q never goes on cooldown for the duration of the ability, and you just keep going and hope that you're hitting people. So it is a very good ability to use if you need to escape a sticky situation, because you can still see the map. You know which way left and right is, so you can get out of there, but usually you want to use it to fight on points or bosses or something, and you want to get all up in their face even though you can't see them. So yeah, that's me talking about Blind as a Bat. Trying to jump Punisher, not doing a very good job because it still lands in the front side of the wall. Joe, you're supposed to hit your D and then you're supposed to hit your E and then your D, so the Punisher can see you and then jump on you, and then you walk away. But he got the stun anyway. We're going to take the Malthael kill. Pyroblast going towards the Lily, going to take a fair amount of her health away. Big sanctification. Well, maybe it wasn't. I think we were all out of the circle for Morphia anyway. That's okay. We're going to sleep that Johanna, watch her run away, and laugh in her face. Still got basically our whole health bar. And being that we have an Ariel healer, it's going to be very, very difficult for us to die. What? What? Okay. Okay. I don't like these. I don't know what this is. Don't do that. It's always Swift Sweep at 1. And then, what's it called? It's the quest talent. We'll probably do an Ariel video here soon, because she's kind of OP right now, and if you can play her even decently, and you have a decent DPS on your team, you're going to be untouchable. Absolutely freaking insanely untouchable. So let's get over here, try to get the camp out, see if we can get this stuff pushing before the objective comes up. Kael'thas doing us all a favor, pushing the wave out a little bit. All four of us are going to get the credit for capping the camp, and we're going to watch it chug down the top lane. We do have level 20, so we can look to engage as long as the enemy team doesn't bitch out. Oh, come on! Nope. They got away. They got away. We've got the camp pushing up on the top lane here, but what we should be doing is looking for other things to do on the map, since the enemy team is not going to come out of that top keep because they are terrified of our huge level 20 muscles and the possibility of getting boom slapped. I don't know. Tyrael getting pulled in by the tether, taking a whole bunch of damage, about half his health bar. Now he's going to dive back in because he sees me all up in the enemy team's grill. Big Hanzo arrow stopping the Malthael in his tracks. It looks like Malthael turned around when he was surely safe, but now we're going to make sure he knows never to turn around again. Heals from the Ariel going to make sure that we don't die even with our teeny tiny amount of health. If I didn't mention it, the level 20 is Alone in the Dark. What this is going to do when you hit people with your E their vision radius is completely nullified. So really all that they can see is their hero and about half an inch in front of their face. Think of Dahaka's isolation if you've ever been hit by that. That's the kind of vision reduction you get from Alone in the Dark, which is really useful on their team. Basically, everybody on there needs vision to do anything correctly. So Maiev can't hit more than one Q. I mean, you can't hit more than one person with her Q unless she can see them. Malthael has to be able to see people to jump to them. Orphea's got to be able to see people to land any of her skill shots because their whole kit is skill shots. Joe doesn't necessarily care about being blinded because, you know, she's a pretty decent AoE tank. But Lily doesn't really matter either. She's just gonna slap buttons and hope things work. Yeah. But on the three big people here, that blind is really important. So anyway, the build as it is: Winged Guard, Might of Sargeras, Spreading Plague, Carrion Swarm, Blood Rush, Plague Bats, and Alone in the Dark. You could also take Seeker Swarm at 20 to put teams to sleep, but it's up to preference at that point. Whatever you think is going to be working better in your game, go with what you feel. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed it. 121 seconds of stun time. Take them naps. I will see you guys next week, and we'll be back with some more Storm League action. Hopefully we can get in some more DPS games so we don't look like a tank player. Even though we are. I'm totally a tank player. I love it when it works. I hate it when it doesn't. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. And as always, if you have any comments, leave them. If you got any questions, let me know. And if you have any requests, put those bad boys in there. I'll see what I can do about finding some ways to play them games for you. Thanks again. For the third and final time, I'll see you later.